welcome back to this week's edition of Modern Tech and Transformation. We have a new face with us today, Taruni Sunder. Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
So, Taruni, since it's your first time on the podcast, tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
So I'm a machine learning engineer here at RTS, and I've been working here for a few months now, and I work with Juno. And I'm really excited to talk more about what we do today.
Awesome. So, as you can tell, she mentioned Juno Labs, our AI division, and we are going to jump into some AI topics for 2025 and discuss a really exciting award that the Juno Labs team just won. So to get us kicked off, the AI landscape is ever evolving, right? What are some trends that you see shaping 2025?
So Carla, I think this year we're going to see a lot more of AI agents. In fact, Gartner says that it's going to be the top trend for 2025. So an AI agent is basically, it's autonomous, so it can take actions and decisions on its own, and it can do what humans normally do. And I think this is really cool because that leaves space for humans to do more strategic tasks, and like the AI can focus on monitoring and automation and that kind of stuff.
Awesome. Yeah. Any other trends, or you think that's going to be the biggest one?
It's definitely going to be the biggest one. And Gartner also says that by 2028, up to 15% of workforce decisions are going to be made by AI agents.
Interesting.
And so Juno's actually worked on a few as well. So a really common use case is a virtual agent. So when you call up a retail store, for example, the agent will help you like place an order, and there's no human needed in this in that entire process.
And that's different from when you call and they're like, press 1 for
yeah.
this, or
yeah.
It's a much different experience, right?
Right, because now the agent can place the order on its own, so we don't need like a human to place the order for it. It's actually taking an action on its own.
Have you seen any data on how consumers are reacting to that? Because I know when I dial in and I don't get a person and I'm clicking all these buttons, sometimes it can get frustrating. There might not be any consumer data on the AI agents yet, but have you seen any?
So I think the idea is for the AI agents to for the whole transition to be a lot more smoother than like when we call the operating systems and they're just automated. No, I hear you. That is a pain. Another trend I think will come up are SLMs. So we've heard of LLMs, which are large language models, and SLMs are small language models. So they're much smaller than that. So for some context, large language models have like billions of parameters, whereas small language models probably have millions to a few billions. And basically, they're since they're so much smaller, they require a lot less infrastructure to run, and that makes it more accessible for a lot more people to use it. So they can run on edge devices like our mobiles, or like imagine a car and there's some vehicle navigation. Mm-hmm. That can run on the car's own computer. And I think so right now, I think like this just speaks to the pervasiveness and how accessible AI is going to be. When you Google something now, you already see like an AI summary, right? Mm-hmm. Now imagine that kind of AI in all the apps you use, like maps and calendars and everything. So I think this year we're going to see a lot more pervasiveness of AI, and I think it's going to mark the trend.
So why would you use so there's LLM and SLM. Why would you use an SLM as opposed to an LLM?
So because it's a lot easier to run. It's a lot more accessible. You don't need the type of infrastructure you need to run an LLM.
But for the end user, what does that look like?
So now you can have an SLM running on your mobile phone. Whereas you can't do that for an LLM because it needs a lot more computational power to run.
But ChatGPT is an LLM, right?
Right, but that's running, like, it's not built into your phone. Like, it's not integrated with your...
Okay, so it's like a more private server. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Marketing, not tech, but no, you helped me understand it. So Juno Labs recently won a prestigious award, and I can tell because you're very intelligent on all things AI. From the Business Intelligence Group, you won the Innovation Award, and that was due to your work with that AI agent, the voice ordering agent, and also a product recommendation engine built for retail. Can you talk to us a little bit about the mission of Juno Labs and the innovation and what that means to y'all?
So here at Juno, we focus a lot on innovation, and it's really built into our culture. We invest really heavily in resources and time, and we place a lot of emphasis on innovation. And we've been thinking about agents and RAGs, like retrieval augmented generative models for a long time, and it's great to see us being recognized, with this award, and it also serves as motivation to keep doing what we're doing. So last year in 2024, we got to work on a lot of interesting POCs and with agents and other AI products, and yeah, we're looking forward to more of that.
Wonderful. And I see more awards in your future. Every time you guys develop a new solution, I'm always so impressed. And I know our end clients are as well. I was actually at a lunch yesterday with a prospective client, and just seeing the passion from the Juno Labs team with prospective clients and our current clients, that's what really I think is the most exciting. And then obviously when these things come to fruition.
Well, yeah, thank you for those kind words. It's really exciting to work on this type of tech.
So with that being said, we talked about why you won the award. What are some other things you have going on in Juno Labs that you can give us a sneak peek into?
So something that we're working on right now is an observability platform that helps the internal operations teams with production support. So this is built from ground up, and it goes beyond the basic business intelligence. There's also predictive capabilities and self-healing capabilities. So this will really help the ops team members in the way that they can catch incidents really quickly, and they also have assistance in troubleshooting and fixing it. So I think especially the predictive capabilities and the self-healing capabilities, along with providing a comprehensive root cause analysis, that could really make a big change for operation support.
Anything else?
Another one that we can talk about is Gen AI compliance check. So for a medical company, they have a lot of medical documents, and they want their documents to be verified in terms of compliance. So building on some of the frameworks that we built earlier, we're building a compliance check that make sure that it's compliant with their medical standards, whilst also preserving patient data and patient safety.
Very interesting. And that is a highly regulated industry with HIPAA laws and everything.
Absolutely.
So I'm sure you all keep governance at the forefront of everything you do.
Yeah. So when we work on healthcare projects, compliance and patient safety and of course data privacy are of utmost importance.
So one thing that sets Resolve Tech Solutions apart from other providers in our ERP services and in our cloud services is that white glove, tailored, personalized level of service. Can you talk about how you do that in Juno Labs?
Yeah, so I think the most important thing is to realize, like you said, there's no one solution that fits all. It really depends on the client, the industry, and their problem at hand. So we spend a lot of time with the client, understanding their industry, their data, what they're using, and what the challenges they face. And we tailor our solutions based on what the client needs. So based on the industry as well. So for example, we worked with a company in the retail industry, and for that, we would focus on customer engagement and streamlining operations. Whereas if we're talking about a medical industry, we'll focus more on compliance and data privacy and patient safety. So it's really important to focus on what the problem at hand is and what the industry is. So something interesting that we worked on was a virtual agent for a retail store. So basically, this is to streamline their operations, and so that the people working there can focus on more strategic tasks. So this agent will, you can call the agent, and the agent can place an order for you. It can provide the catalog for you and help you modify your orders. So this was a really tailored solution for the client, and by spending time with the client and focusing on quick wins and POCs, that's how we can focus on what the client needs.
And don't get me wrong, as a marketer, I love a good out-of-the-box solution, but as an enterprise and doing those really unique, hard-to-do, intricate, mission-critical tasks that are going to be competitive advantages, I think the white glove service that we provide is phenomenal.
Absolutely, phenomenal. Yeah, thank you.
And last but not least, I sit in a lot of conferences, initial meetings, where people have very robust ideas. How do you all help guide clients to finding the best use case for a minimum viable product to get started with AI?
Right. So, like we spoke about earlier, we spend a lot of time with the client to understand their use case, their industry, and their data. So we start with something called discovery, where we talk about these aforementioned things, and we spend time understanding their challenges and what they're looking for, what tech they're currently using. And then it's a very collaborative cycle where we spend a lot of time with the client, and it's very iterative. So we're in constant communication with them and making sure they're getting what they need. So once we've done discovery, we focus on a POC. So that's a quick win, a quick POC, and we go back to the client with that. And then once the next thing we do is to build a pilot. So that's typically 8 to 12 weeks, depending on the project. And then after the pilot, we go back to the client, and it's a whole cycle where there's a lot of communication with the client. And then we work on building the solution on scale. And then that's when we have more frameworks in place, like MLOps and for deployment and like final usage.
Now, this has been a really informative conversation, and we hope to have you back. Congratulations on the award.
Oh, thank you.
You all are doing amazing things in Juno Labs, and thank you for sharing your insights. And I know I learned something about AI today, so appreciate you coming on.
Thank you, Carla. Thank you for having me. It was really nice chatting with you today.
Absolutely. And this episode actually concludes season 2 of the Modern Tech and Transformation podcast. We will have a new host in season 3, and we look forward to seeing you then.